Raider Nation, what's going on? We got some breaking news here to discuss. Spam those JJs down below because I know that the Josh Jacobs family, they're going to be watching today's video. I don't know about y'all, man. I am super excited. The wait is over. The Las Vegas Raiders, Josh Jacobs, have finally agreed to a one-year deal worth up to $12 million. There was some drama around whether or not Jacobs would sign the franchise tag at 10.1. They got the deal done. He's going to be there week 1 against the Denver Broncos, which was expected, but it doesn't mean we weren't at least a little bit nervous. Now, to make sure you never miss anything going on around the silver and black, I can promise you this. You might not agree with every take that I have. You may not agree with some of the crazy and wild shit we do here, but I can promise you this. I got that commitment to excellence. And when Raiders news happens, I don't care if it's my off day. I don't care if it's midnight. I don't care what time of the day it is. I got you covered. Jeremy Chugs has got you covered. Hit that subscribe button. Free videos every single day. So in terms of the entire recap of everything that has gone on this offseason, Jacobs has already turned down 3 deals. The very first deal that he was offered was July 8th, according to sources to me. The first deal, apparently, that Jacobs turned down was a one-year deal worth $12 million. That was reported by Mike Garoppolo, which now, it's not that I don't think that it was true. I just think Jacobs knows that the running back market is, let's face it, not all that good. Now, Jacobs, remember, he could only sign a one-year deal, because I know there's going to be some people out there like, well, why do they only sign a one-year deal? July 17th, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, when you get tagged by the NFL team that ends up tagging you, by July 17th, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, that's the deadline for a multi-year contract extension. So as soon as that date went by, that's why that date was very important, that means that Jacobs could either play on the franchise tag or he could have just only signed a one-year deal. So that's what they ended up doing. So what's really important about this is something that I have mentioned to the OG Raiders Report watchers before. He got that one-year deal. He has incentives worth up to $12 million. I had a source reach out to me and say basically it's like $11.8 million, and then he can make a few extra $100,000. But this is the important part here. No clause around the franchise tag. That's been confirmed by Tom Pelissero. So what that means is if the Raiders wanted to franchise tag him next year, they could do it. You can franchise tag players in back-to-back seasons. The only difference is the overall value of the contract goes up 20%. So let's just say he makes $12 million this year. That means that the Raiders could franchise tag him next year somewhere around $14 million. However, according to Jacobs, according to his team, he wants a long-term deal. We'll see what he decides to do because $14 million per year in this current running back market is a halfway decent type of deal. But the Raiders Report is about the interaction. It's about diehard fans because I know I wasn't the only one. When I got the update, I went streaking down. Streaking is maybe a strong word. Running down the Chat Sports hallway. Found Chugs. The video's on Twitter. It's on IG. But, that's the passion. And I know that I wasn't the only one. So that's what I want to see. I want to see, was it an A, B, C, D, or F? I want you to grade the new deal here for Jacobs. And you know what? We're going to make this the pinned comment on today's show. So everyone, you're about to get hit with the YouTube ad break. Scroll on down and let me know. My grade here for this Jacobs contract, it is a solid A. And the reason why I'm giving it an A is when you look at the deal that Saquon Barkley just got for the Giants, it's the exact same thing there. Jacobs is coming off a season where he had 393 touches. He had over 2,000 yards. It's a great deal for both sides. Does Josh deserve probably more money? Yeah, I can sit up here and I can tell you that. But in today's running back market, I will continually say time and time again, the running back market right now is so close to the housing market for people who don't play in the NFL. The housing market sucks. Buying a house at 7%, I don't deserve that, but that's just the way that it is. And I think Jacobs realized, and why he ended up signing the deal was, it's not a me problem. It's not the Raiders don't want me, but that's the current running back market. And right now with the salary cap the way that it is, he's going to be making top 4 salary cap money this upcoming season for the running back position. Only Nick Chubb, only Derrick Henry, and now he's basically tied with Saquon Barkley in terms of how much money they're going to be making against the salary cap. So as it stands right now, here is the Raiders running back depth chart with Josh Jacobs. You got a little Zamir White, Amir Abdullah in there. I do think because Jacobs is back, that Jacob Johnson will remain a member of this team. I said before, if Jacobs isn't back, I personally would not have kept Johnson. I would have rolled with another cornerback, maybe another linebacker, something else on that defensive side of the football. But now you almost got to wonder, because with the Raiders got to get their roster down from, right now they have 91 because of the International Pathway Program player. You got to get that down to 53. Chugs and I, we're going to be live for when that happens. But how many backs do they decide to keep, right? Like, that's definitely up in the air. I will say this, though. For people out there that watch or that participate in fantasy football, I still will say that Zamir White is going to get work. Last season, he had 17 carries. If I was the Raiders, I'm probably going to say that Zamir is going to be closer to that 70 carries season, if you will. He might get 80 touches overall. Jacobs had 393 touches. I would project that this upcoming season to actually be a lot closer to like 300 to 320 and not so much like 393. So my question to you is this: will Zamir White get more touches this year for the Silver and Black? Give me a yes, or I want you to type that N for no. I understand the way that the Raiders went about this whole process with Jacobs, but I really truly believe that even though he's on the franchise tag, this organization is still going to give work to those backs. It is August 26th. The Raiders, they play, September 10th? We're like literally 2 weeks away. If I know McDaniels and Ziegler the way that I think that I do, I could still see them going, you know what? We might not give Josh 20-plus touches in game one. We might get a little Amir Abdullah in there, a little bit of Brandon Bolden in there, even though I would rather you not keep Brandon Bolden. I'd rather just cut Brandon Bolden and save that $2.23 million. But hey, what do I know? They're still going to get work in with some of these other backs. But as the season goes on and goes on and goes on, they want Josh to be healthy and motivated near the end of the season there, because the Raiders' back half of the season, when you got the Giants, the Jets, the Dolphins, the Chiefs, I mean, you got a gauntlet of you got 2 Chiefs games, you got a Chargers game in there. It is a gauntlet of a season. But most importantly, you know why I'm happy that he's back? Because everybody, when we were doing our Madden simulation, saying, well, what if Jacobs isn't back? I told you, he's coming back, and now he's back. Over the last 4 seasons, yeah, that one was that wild one. I love you. Over the last 4 seasons, though, he's been a spectacular running back. Now, sure, never quite put up the numbers that he has compared to 2022, and that's going to happen sometimes in a contract year. However, throughout his career, Jacobs has averaged 1,185 rushing yards, 10 rushing touchdowns, and 40 catches. I'm telling y'all this right now. If Jacobs puts up those type of numbers, it's going to be worth it. I am not going to sit up here and anticipate that he's going to do over 2,000 yards again. I'm not going to sit up here and anticipate that he's going to lead the NFL in rushing. Obviously, if he does it, that's spectacular, but I need a motivated Jacobs, and if he's got, instead of 1,653 yards, what if he has 1,300 rushing yards and averages more yards per carry? Like, that is something that I think could potentially happen with this team, but we can sit here and say the running back position doesn't matter as much, or it's not as important in today's NFL. That is a true statement. But in Josh McDaniels' offense, with this offensive line, and with a quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo, you need to be able to take pressure off of the QB. We knew that Ziegler wanted to get this deal done. We knew that McDaniels wanted to get this deal done. But I do think if you're going to sit here and talk to your fans and say, hey, we're going to make you pay all this money to go to Allegiant Stadium, to fly into Las Vegas, stay at a hotel. I know how expensive it is to go to Las Vegas. No doubt about it. Now you got Jacobs. And now you got a quarterback in Garoppolo who's going to be able to execute McDaniels' offense a lot better than what DC did last season. I know that there's media people out there that don't think that this team's going to be very good. I think that the Raiders are going to shock a lot of people out there. Now, here's going to be the way that we end today's show. Jeremy Chugs and I are about to turn the hell up. I'm telling you this right now. We're leaving here in about an hour and a half. We're going to go tailgate because we live here in Dallas. We're going to go tailgate. We're going to be in Lot 11 hanging out with the DFW crew. I bought tickets for my fiance, Alex. Her dad, his birthday was last weekend. They're Cowboys fans, so we're going to heckle them a little bit. But to make sure you never miss anything going on around this team, hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Instagram at Mitchell Renz 365. And if you're ready to party for the next hour, and maybe you're not watching this live, join the Raiders Report, because we're going to be turning up now. We're also going to be turning up when the Raiders and Cowboys play for their final preseason game.